The survivors tell us that Maxwell groomed and prostituted them not only to Jeffrey Epstein, they were delivered as pre-cocktail gifts and post-gala donations to some of the most powerful men in the world, princes and presidents, captains of industry and prestigious academics, philanthropists who fund political campaigns and social justice organizations. And we wonder why our work to end trafficking and sexual exploitation is so hard. And we wonder why believing survivors and preventing others from being exploited is so hard. Where do we think sex trafficking happens? It happens in the sex trade. Sex trafficking is just a train that brings victims to an end destination where sex buyers are waiting to consume sexual acts. What the Epstein survivors are telling us is that Ghislaine Maxwell was a conductor of that train, procuring them to men who hold the keys to power and who build institutions, who create laws and decides who wins and who falls. These masters of the universe didn't need the seedy sex trade. Maxwell and Epstein created their own private one here in New York City and wherever they had homes around the world. And how many of those thousands of Epstein victims wound up in the actual sex trade? Strip clubs or escort services, in pornography or signing up online as sugar babies, all because the sexual abuse shattered them into a million pieces. We don't know and we don't care. Why? Because we normalize sexual commodification and abuse. Our culture, our press, our academic institutions, the media we consume all believe that at some point this abuse becomes consensual work. Abuse that turns into a job like any other, from the mayor's office and city council way over there, from the district attorney's office to our representatives in Congress, from the New York Times to the New York Post. They now call the exploitation of prostitution work, a job that can be empowering and consensual. One of the arguments used by prosecutors in the Maxwell trial is that Jeffrey Epstein cultivated a sexualized atmosphere at his home. If we, as a society, are not careful and don't truly listen to survivors, we too are cultivating a culture where we normalize sexual exploitation as harmless and benign. Everyone has a fundamental right not to be prostituted and sexually exploited. And of course, we cannot talk about sex trafficking and the sex trade without talking about race. Sex trafficking and prostitution are highly racialized. Maxwell allegedly procured young white girls because Epstein had a predilection for them. Like most sexual predators, sex buyers have patterns with racialized or racist sexual stereotypes. The convicted sex offender R. Kelly targeted black women and girls, and Robert Kraft seems to have had sexual predation for Asian women trafficked in so-called parlors. And I would invite anybody to go online and watch the sex buyers review boards and see how racist and sexist these comments are. Why do we give them a pass? I don't know. In front of me, I am looking right now at so many survivors of prostitution, of pornography, and sexual exploitation who came to Manhattan from all over the country to stand with the Epstein survivors. Maxwell didn't groom these women, but others did. Epstein and his elite friends didn't purchase them and sexually abuse them, but many other men did. Men who didn't care how old they were or whether they were trafficked or not. These survivors are here today standing with the Maxwell Epstein survivors, telling us that their ordeals were the same. They're standing here to shout that enough is enough. Survivors cannot wait for 30 years of abuse and thousands of victims for just one alleged trafficker to be brought before justice. Survivors deserve better. We deserve better. Justice for survivors. Thank you.